Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden 22 defensive plays video breakdown, I want to take a look at our favorite blitz setup from the Dime 146, and what I'm going to show you is how to get some double edge pressure. This defensive setup I'm about to show, as far as the blitz setup, will also get pressure even if the running back stays in the pass blocks. I want to go ahead and show this one to you as far as bringing that pressure. So let's go ahead and take a look at the play art and play info for this particular play. Again, it's called Mike SS3 Seam. You'll find this one out of the dime formation. The set is the 146. Personnel is one defensive linebacker, or excuse me, one defensive lineman, 4 linebackers, 6 defensive backs. Coverage type is zone. Coverage shell is cover 3. The blitz type is zone blitz. The gap pressure is C. The pass rushers are 5 and the pass defenders are 6. So that's the play art and play info. As far as the playbooks are concerned, here's your playbooks that you'll find this particular play out of. And for this video breakdown, we're going to go ahead and use the Los Angeles Rams defensive playbook, and we'll go ahead and use the Los Angeles Rams as far as on the defensive side of the ball. So let's go ahead and take a look at the setup here. However, before I do that, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and show you the substitutions real quickly, but I'm done with them. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. And I want you guys to understand, I went ahead and did the auto reorder before I got into this, and I've already made my subs. For the purpose of this video breakdown, what I suggest you guys do is definitely want to have a linebacker who's lined up right here, who's able to who has a high pass rush finesse rating. That's what you need right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put Miller here, but if you have somebody else in mind, that's fine. You know, regardless if it's the Rams or whatever, but this is the guy I'm going to use for the Rams. So if you're playing some other team, definitely find somebody with a high pass rush finesse rating. As far as that, you definitely need that because you're going to manually pass rushing him. And then to the inside of him, I'm going to go ahead and move Donald to the inside at the nose tackle. He lines up right across in the center. I'm hoping that he can use his X Factor star abilities to go ahead and somehow get to the quarterback. I suggest putting your best defensive lineman right there, whoever you may have on your team. That's really up to you. And then the other one over here is going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and move Floyd right here. I'm going to move Floyd into this linebacker spot. Jones was there, and I went ahead and moved him in there only because Floyd's the other good pass rusher as far as the linebacker for the Rams. So those are really the key guys as far as with this. I do want to go back just for a second back to Donald. Now, depending on what I'm going to show you here later in the video might determine if you want to leave your best pass rusher there or not. And that's going to be something that's going to be up to you. And I'll talk about that a little later in the video breakdown. But for now, we are going to go ahead and leave him there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the defense here. And again, this is the Dime 146 Mike SS3 Seam. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to bring some nice double edge pressure on the quarterback. And for the offensive side of the ball, we're going to go ahead and use the gun bunch formation. The name of the play is we're going to use the Z spot and go. It's from the Seattle Seahawks playbook. We're going to go ahead and use them on the offensive side of the ball as well. All right, so what I want you guys to watch out as I do this setup here is I want you to watch these two guys right here. These are the two guys that we're going to kind of focus in as far as bringing the pressure on the quarterback. Now, you may also see some pressure coming from this guy right here, which is a defensive back. He may get it as well. So to set this one up, you're going to go ahead and hit the RBR1 button, and then you're going to go ahead and press down on the left stick, which brings up that shift defense. You want to pinch, and that's going to go ahead and do this, what you see on your screen. So this guy now becomes to the inside, and then this guy right here comes closer to the line of scrimmage. Now, what I'm looking for is I'm going to go ahead and manually rush this guy. Now, for you guys who haven't had a chance to watch the manual rush videos I've done, we're going to put this guy, we're going to hot route him into a flat, Miller into a flat, and then we're going to allow him to go to the outside, and then we're going to manually rush him from the outside. If you haven't had a chance to watch those videos, as far as the manual pass rush, I suggest you do so. And then the other guy that we're hoping to get pressure, as I've already mentioned, is from this guy. A lot of times you'll get some type of heat coming off that edge. If he doesn't get it, there's a very good shot that this defensive back may get it as well. So a lot of times it really comes from one of those two guys. Not always, but a lot of times that's where you're going to get it from. So just keep that in mind. All right, so the only other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and hot route this guy on a hard flat. And I am going to move him just slightly to the inside here, more or less where he's lined up across from the left guard. So I'm going to go ahead and snap the ball, and I'll just go ahead and show you how this one works. And we end up getting some nice edge pressure coming off the edge. And eventually, a lot of times, that linebacker right there, which is one of those linebackers are going to get in. That's not the normal guy that gets in, but that's where you might see some double edge pressure coming off of. Let's go ahead and do the same setup again. Same setup right here. Again, we're looking to get some pressure coming in here. That time I didn't get it, but Donald got in there. But a lot of times that's where you're going to see it. It almost always comes from the side that I'm coming from, and you may get some pressure coming from one of those other guys off the edge there. Let's go ahead and run this one more time here. There it comes right there. There's a double edge pressure I was talking about. So that's what you're generally going to end up seeing, is that you're going to see one of those guys get in plus the guy that you're in control of. Let's go ahead and do it one more time here. And then I'm going to show you another thing I like to do with this defense. But this is just the logistics of it. And there again, we just got some pressure coming off there. I kind of just missed at the edge. But at any rate, you can see where the pressure might come from with this defense. And let's go ahead and run it again. It's pretty consistent for the most part. As I said, you may get blocked on occasion, which is fine. And that's why I moved Donald to the inside, because I know that a lot of times, I know not every team has that ability, but that's really it as far as what the setup goes, as far as this one. All right, I'm going to show you guys one more thing with this one. And there's the pressure this time coming off. And then again, we get that pressure. It's fairly consistent, as I mentioned earlier, and Floyd got in as well. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on with this, because this is really the final part of the setup. What I also suggest doing is putting this guy into a middle read, or if you want, you can go ahead and put him into a hook curl. You can put him into a QB spy. I'm going to put him into a mid read because I prefer that. It just seems to work better for me there. I like to have him dropping back more into the middle of the deep, short to mid-middle of the field. And then the other thing I hadn't shown yet was this guy right here, which is Donald. And this is what I talked about earlier. If you don't have an X factor and he's not going to get pressure on the quarterback, what you might consider doing then is having a faster defensive end lined up here, and you can put him in QB spy. And then if you do have maybe an X factor defensive end that can get some edge pressure, you might want to move him into this spot right here. That's another thing you could do. So you could just flop him into that spot right there if you have another good pass rusher. That's really up to you though. Or you can move him to the outside if you got another linebacker. Maybe you got two really good linebackers you can rush. You could, however you want to do it. But just kind of mess around a little bit and play around, depending on what team you're using will determine on how you set this up as far as your substitutions. But like I said, you just kind of want to play around with it. But anyways, I'm going to leave Donald there, even though I'm kind of wasting his pass rush abilities by leaving him there. But generally, I would probably move him if I was actually playing in a game. The only other thing we got to do is we got to go ahead and put this guy into a flat. So let's go ahead and go over here and put this guy into a flat. So there's a setup right there. And then we're just going to move him to the inside right there. And then right there, you can see we're going to get some pressure coming off the edge again right there. And again, Floyd got in, I got in, we got two guys in. That's generally what you're looking for with this setup here is what I'm showing here. So let's go ahead and do it like this. And you guys can see how quick this is. And that's really it. And what we're trying to do here is basically, as you look at it, when we do this setup, what I'm showing here, it's just a 4-man pass rush. And generally, you can create an overload still with these three guys on this side and then this one guy right here. So that's really the main part of the setup. That's basically the favorite part of, when I talk about my favorite part of this setup, this is it right here. This is the main setup that I would run because I feel like I can get some pressure off it regardless with just a 4-man pass rush. So let's go ahead and do it again. Same thing. And then right there, he actually got caught up, but I still got pressure on the quarterback back. Even though my other guy got caught, I still got in there. And that's why you do the manual pass rush with this one. So let's go ahead and move him back. And then there's a setup. I'm going to go ahead and put this guy into the 3 mid read right there, or excuse me, into the mid read. And there's the setup as far as with this defense. That time I actually got caught. Normally I don't, but that time I did. But I still got in eventually. But so remember, if you do this setup here and you don't get the pressure, you're only rushing 4 guys. So you still got some nice coverage behind it, even though, it's not that big of a deal. That time I didn't hot route the other guy. But there I got edge pressure again. So that's the idea of that. Now, let me just say this. You don't have to, if you don't want to, let's go ahead and put him. You don't have to slide this guy in if you don't want to. You can just leave him right here if you want. That's up to you. And then you can get that edge pressure there on that edge. So it's pretty consistent right there as far as getting to the pressure on the quarterback as far as you look at it. So there's the setup for the most part. Let's go ahead and do the same thing again. I'm going to go ahead and slide him in. This time I'm going to slide him a little bit more further into this area here. Let's see what happens with that setup. And then I'm going to come around and I got that edge pressure, and plus I got my guy in. So this one's pretty consistent. And the beautiful thing about this, as I said before, as you look at it, you're only going to have a 4-man pass rush, which makes it pretty darn effective. Let's go ahead and put this guy in a different coverage this time. Let's go ahead and put him in just a hook curl. This time we'll put him in a hook curl. Something a little bit different. And again, you're going to come off that edge, and then you're going to try to apply that pressure on the quarterback. So it's fairly good. Now let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and do it with the running back staying in the pass block right there. You can see the running back staying in the pass block. So let's go ahead and do the same setup here. Put him in the mid read, and then like this. Now with this setup, because the running back staying in the pass block, you notice I went ahead and put that defensive nose tackle in that. As far as in that QB spy, this is going to be a little bit harder because we may still get blocked. Right there, I got blocked, and I also got blocked. So I got 2 guys that got blocked on that one. That's with the running back staying in the pass block. And that can be an issue if you can't get around manually, because that running back will pick up that one blitzer off the right-hand side of the offensive line. So let's go ahead and do the same thing again here. Let's see what happens this time. Let's see if I can get around here. There we go. See right there? That's a good example of what will happen. Notice that the running back actually picked up the defender from the right side, that linebacker, which is Floyd. Here's the running back right now as you look at your screen here. Now he's looking towards the left initially, but he slides over. Now he makes a cut block and takes him out, but I'm able to manually pass rush and still get pressure on the quarterback. So that's the idea of this one. And you can also see that we've got this guy in QB spy right here. As far as this is concerned. So right there, you can see he's in QB spy. So as you look at this, let's zoom out a little bit. As I pointed out earlier, look at all the defenders that we've got in some type of coverage. You got 7 guys in pass coverage. And then if you look at it, we got, 4 guys rushing the quarterback, which is nice. So that's a pretty nice defense if you ask me. Plus with the running back staying in the pass block, you can still get pressure on the quarterback, which is nice with that. All right, I want to go ahead and do a couple more things here real quick to show you some other stuff that you can possibly do. It's up to you. Let's go ahead and put this guy, again, put him into the mid-read. This time, I'm going to go ahead and put him into man coverage on the running back. And then I'm going to go with this look right here. There's the setup right there. I want to see what happens with this. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the running back staying in the pass block. All right, so let's go ahead and run this and see what happens with it. And we'll see where we get with this. Got caught up, but I still got the pressure on the quarterback. Eventually, I got caught up. Sometimes I get caught up for some reason. Maybe it's because I'm sliding my guy too far in, but you can see that we still got the pressure. Let's go ahead and do the same thing again with the running back. Let's go ahead and leave him in the pass block. Again, I'm going to go ahead and put this guy into. I'm going to go ahead and have him covering the running back, and then let's just go with this setup here for now. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here. And then this time we get that same pressure. So as you can see, Wilson was able to fight that off. But again, we got double-edged pressure, although the blitzing linebacker did get blocked. I'm going to do one last thing here with this one. We'll go ahead and again, put him in man coverage on the running back. Go ahead and do our setup here. We'll go ahead and put him in the mid-read. Put this guy into the flat. Before I go with the final part on this, let's go ahead and look at this just real quick. And you'll notice that this defender right here, which is that nose tackle, still rushed the quarterback. He didn't drop back in the QB spy, even though the running back staying in the pass block. That's because we put him in man coverage. Kind of the same thing I've been showing in some of the other setups as of recent. All right, this time I'm going to allow that running back to go out. So let's go ahead and look at the screen again. You'll see that the running back's going out. And let's just go with the same idea here. And right there, you can see right there, look at the coverage on that, and we still got nice pressure on the quarterback. So if the running back stayed in the pass block, we still get a nice blitz. And that's the idea. This is what I'm trying to show here. So again, this guy initially comes in. He looks like he's going to cover the running back. But watch what happens here. This guy over here, as you look at your screen, from this particular, against this formation, against the gun bunch, he's now in man coverage. He actually drops out here to cover in man coverage. And this guy drops back in that mid-read, which is nice. So they kind of switch. So the nose tackle and the linebacker switch, and I get some decent coverage here. Plus I get to the quarterback still. So there's some different things you guys can do with these setups. I wanted to show one last thing you guys can do. I didn't do it yet here. I want to show this to you. I'm going to go ahead and put him in a mid-read. Put this guy in the man coverage. And then I'm going to go ahead and go QB contain. So there's a look right there. This is the last thing I want to show here, the setup. So this time we've got QB contain on. So now we got this corner, or this defensive back. He's now a QB contain. So a lot going on here that you guys can do. I just want to show you all the different things with this one. This is why it's probably my favorite blitz from this particular defense, because I know I can get some pressure on the quarterback. And right there, I got nice pressure again. You saw all that stuff going on. And that time, it came from the cornerback, or the dime back that I put into QB contain. So let's go ahead and do the same setup here. Yeah, and also something else I want to point out. As you notice, there's a little bit more added as I kept going here. I kind of kept adding on to it. At some point, you might not be fast enough to do all these adjustments. If you're somebody who's really fast on the stick and you can make all these adjustments, more power to you. That's why I started off with just a couple things, and then I worked my way into more advanced stuff as far as the setup here. So let's go ahead and do the same thing again here. Again, we got some pressure on the quarterback, and a lot of guys are covered. So hopefully, guys, this is something that it's going to help you out if you get a chance to play around with this defense, because it's going to bring some pressure on the quarterback, and it definitely can go ahead and have some nice coverage, especially when you only got a 4-man pass rush going on, which to me is kind of what we all look for. We all look for that, we all look for that type of defense where we can have just a 4-man pass rush or a 3-man and still get pressure on the quarterback. And this is a great example of that. So this one is from the Dime 146. The name of the defense is called Mike SS3 Seam. Hopefully, I know I threw a lot of information at you guys, all kinds of different looking things. And as I said before, I was adding on to it as I went to a point that it's doing a lot of adjustments. But initially, you don't have to do all those adjustments as far as with that. If you just want to do the simplest thing. Matter of fact, let's go back in here because, like I said, I hope I didn't throw too much at you guys, but I want to do one last thing with this real quick. Let's just go back and just do the basics right here. All right, there's the basics of the defense. That's it. That's all you got to do. You just got to hit the RB/R1 button, press down on the pinch thing right there on the pinch adjustment, and then do do the hard flat with that linebacker. And then a lot of times you can just get pressure just doing that simple part of there. Okay, that's the most simplest part. If you guys aren't fast on the trigger and you're just looking to get simple pressure without having to do a whole lot, this is all you got to do. All right, so hopefully that'll kind of give you an idea of some stuff that you can do with this defense. So at any rate, that's it, guys, as far as the setup. I hope that this one helps you guys out. Again, I appreciate it. If you guys like this video breakdown, please go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think of these setups. I got to try to get back into doing some offensive breakdowns. I know I've got some other requests, some other stuff, some run defense, so I'm going to be trying to do some of that in the future. My time is limited each week as I work a full-time job, and with the whole COVID thing going on, I don't really talk about it too much, but my job is not immune to it either. We got a lot of guys that are out from work, but I try to help them out and help. I try to get home and I try to do some videos for you guys, and I try to stay safe. You guys stay safe. And again, I'll see you guys on my next video breakdown. Once again, thanks for watching the video.